this is one of the scenarios, and I talked about it again in the book, is he told us many times he would vacillate on this issue from time to time, but his main theme was that he was not going to be executed, that the major was going to have someone infiltrate the execution team, and that he would be given drugs that would feign the appearance of death, and he says the CIA and other people use these drugs, and that they would be taken out, and he would be brought, given some type of medication that would counteract the other, and that he would be rewarded for serving his country. And it sounds a little bit far-fetched, but I mean, I've talked to several people who witnessed the execution, including Janie Coverdale, and she doesn't know one way or another whether Tim was executed. He was covered up from toe to neck, and he couldn't see any type of IV lines or anything running into his veins. And so she clearly says that she doesn't know if he was executed or not, and she watched it. So, I don't know if Tim McVeigh is dead.
So McVeigh told you, well, we can pull up the articles where reporters said he was still breathing when they wheeled him out. I mean, I remember that on TV, but it wasn't national news. It was in Indiana. TV reporters, a newspaper reporter, I remember seeing one of the reporters on the news, a black guy. We've got to pull that up. In fact, Google that. Reporters said it appeared McVeigh was still alive after execution. Sir, this is...
Alex, part of my bargain with McVeigh to get him to provide me information so I could write the book was that I'm a jailhouse lawyer, and I do quite a bit of litigation for inmates. And one of the things that he didn't want was an autopsy, and the reasons he didn't want an autopsy is because he said he was going to be feigned the appearance of death. And I fought that issue in my own case, in my death penalty case, with the assistance of my attorneys, and we won the fact that you didn't have to. We won that, and McVeigh used that as a precedent on himself so he wouldn't have to have an autopsy. I mean, these are all things, a lot of it's circumstantial, but it adds up to what he thought was going to happen.
But to be clear, David Paul Hammer, it's on record that you're in Terre Haute Federal Execution Center right now. And
federal death row.
Yeah, federal death row, and that McVeigh told you that they were planning to stage his execution, that he was going to be rewarded. Why? Please repeat that on record. And then secondarily, did he ever talk about why the government bombed Oklahoma City?
Yes, he did talk about that. First, I'll do what you asked about. McVeigh did not believe that he was going to be executed. He believed that he was going to go through the motions, and that he was going to be given drugs that would feign the appearance of death, and then be counteracted once he was out of the institution and in the custody of his attorney. He was actually released to his remains was released to the custody of one of his attorneys.
Okay. Secondarily, quickly, this is key. Why did the government why did he believe that it was patriotic to bomb OKC?
Well, what he came to believe throughout the course of his mission was that this was a way for the government to gain control over the right-wing militia patriot movement, that because of Ruby Ridge and because of Waco, that the patriot movement was becoming stronger and stronger, and that if there was a bombing that was attributed to people with those leanings or those associations, that the government could pass laws easier, and that those type of people would fall out of favor with the American public.
Okay, sir. Data dump. Because I've got to take this network break in a few minutes, and if you're still there, and I appreciate you coming on this show, again, this just dropped on our lap literally yesterday. Data dump in the next 4 minutes. Other key points that you want out there on the record.
Well, the fact that Tim McVeigh, there's two things. That the one big thing is that the government had prior warning, many prior warnings that something was going to happen, and specifically that the Murrah building was going to be bombed, and that McVeigh was involved. Also that Andreas Strassmeyer, Dennis Mahan, Roger Moore, and the so-called Aryan Republic Army members, which was Peter Langdon, Scott Stediford, Michael Breshna, Kevin McCarthy, and Richard Guthrie, were involved in the planning and security detail for McVeigh as part of the bombing. They were on site in Oklahoma City. Other things I want to to be known is that the bomb that actually blew up the building was, according to Tim, was not made or put together in Kansas and driven to Oklahoma City. It was actually put together in a warehouse. He had told us the warehouse was just off of West Reno. And during our investigation and things that we were able to verify, we found out that that Tim, when arrested in his car, he had a piece of paper with the address and telephone number for a storage facility there in Oklahoma City, in about a half a mile from West Reno. So
was he supposed to be picked up driving a big yellow car with no license plate?
Well, he told us that actually Mike Bresna and Richard Guthrie were supposed to pick him up in an SUV, and that they didn't, and so that the Mercury was nothing but a secondary getaway car.
Yeah, he was set up. He was set up. He probably wasn't. They probably killed him. I'm sure they told him they were going to stage his death. He was sheep-dipped out of the Army into Black Ops, and that's what Terry Nichols has sworn, and then that's what all the evidence is. I've talked to the grand jurors, everybody. They all know this. And what about Iraqis? We know they had Iraqis that were brought in by the U.S. government who'd been trained by the CIA in the 80s when Saddam was our ally. What about Iraqis swirling around? Did he ever talk about that?
Well, you know, he said that the people who believe that it was a red herring, which I've tried to investigate and find out what I could about a foreign connection, and I don't have anything to say on that really, because Tim just kind of laughed it off when someone would bring that up. One thing I do want to mention, in Terry Nichols' sworn declaration, he identifies Larry Potts as the person that McVeigh said he was working for as his handler. And
Larry Potts had said that he was in Dallas and flew up there that day, but it turns out it's now been declassified that he was there before the bombing.
Yes, I've seen those documents. And I quizzed McVeigh over and over and over. We could never get him to give us the identity of the major. I should say here for your audience, when I use the words we, I'm talking about myself and a fellow death row inmate here who was in on a lot of the conversations that I had with McVeigh, and so that's why I use the term we.
Well, this is all incredibly dangerous, and
I did want to say one thing for your audience. If you know what happened to Kenneth Michael Trinidad, he was killed while in BOP custody in Oklahoma City at the Federal Transfer Center. And when news got out, in order to write my book, I had to give it to the officials here to copy, and then I would send out pages, chapters at a time. Back on September, I believe it was the 20th.
We've got a break. Stay there. We've got a break. Back in 3 minutes, okay. Sir. Please stay with us. From Death Row, folks. We'll be back.
We're on the march. The Empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
Hello, friends. This is Alex Jones. You've heard me talk about Cal-Ben 5-star soaps for years. This is an American-made product of the highest quality and compares to nothing you will find in stores. You can buy factory direct, shipped via UPS right to your door. Check them out on the web at 5starsoap.com or call 800-340-7091. Take my word for it. Once you've used Pure Soap, you won't buy anything else. Since 1947, Cal-Ben Soap Company has been showing consumers that soap can be tough on dirt and gentle on the environment. Buy American and stay clean, as well as support InfoWars. Visit 5starsoap.com today or call 1-800-340-7091. Well, Marty, what do you have to say?
As founder and owner for over 63 years, satisfaction is guaranteed or double your dirt back. Call us at 1-800-340-7091 for a free catalog or visit our website, 5starsoap.com. Thank you.
They helped to create a new world order.
We are part of a new world order.
A new world order based upon collective action.
Invisible Empire is a damning indictment of the globalists through their own words and documents.
The new world order really is a tool for addressing a new world of possibilities.
It means all the world under their control.
The United Nations would take over America. The Trilateral Commission would control the world.
Invisible Empire chronicles how men of power and influence have worked in stealth for centuries to establish an oppressive world government.
I believe, first of all, that we now need nothing short of a world constitution for the global financial system.
Global governance with the establishment of the G20.
So it's going to be an inner ruling elite and then everyone else. And I got news for you. You're everyone else.
Invisible Empire. Secure your copy today at Infowars.com or PrisonPlanet.com, or watch it online in the highest quality at PrisonPlanet.tv.
Dog chewed your remote control, lost your remote, or is your remote control just not working? Let ReplacementRemotes.com replace or fix it for you. We carry a complete line of remote controls for all brands of TV, home audio, or DVD remotes, including old or hard-to-find remote controls. We also can repair or fix your remote control. Visit ReplacementRemotes.com for all your remote control needs. Use coupon code ALEX for a 5% discount. We also carry hotel and hospital remote controls. Visit ReplacementRemotes.com.